Today, I want to talk about someone very important to both myself and the Greek Orthodox Church, St. Basil the Great, and how we can try to be more like him in our everyday lives. St. Basil lived a long time ago, but the way he lived is very important for us to hear and understand. He was known for being kind, generous, and very strong in his faith. He didn't just talk about loving and helping others, he showed it through his actions. One of the biggest things we can learn from St. Basil is to care for people in need. He helped the poor, the sick, and anyone who was struggling. He gave up all that he had and lived a very simple life. St. Basil built a large complex called the Basil Lab. He raised a lot of money from the rich to help with this massive project. It had kitchens to feed the homeless, a fully staffed medical team to give care at no cost to others, a hospice center for people to die in peace, and a school for poor to learn a trade. St. Gregory the theologian, one of St. Basil's closest friends, said that the Basil Lab was the eighth wonder of the world. Nothing like this has ever existed before, but with the determination and drive of St. Basil, the first hospital was established. Another way St. Basil inspires us is through his love for God. He prayed often and trusted God in everything he did. He was not afraid to stand up and share what he believed. There were many times St. Basil was told to change his beliefs or he would be punished. The powerful and rich would say to him, "Aren't you afraid of what we can do to you?" St. Basil would respond, "When it comes to serving the truth of Christ, nothing you can do is ever going to stop me." He never let fear get in his way of his faith. We can try to be more like him, praying every day, making God part of our lives, and remembering to thank God for what we have. St. Basil also stood up for what was right, even when it was difficult. That means we should try to make good choices, tell the truth, and do the right thing, even if others are not. One of the more famous stories about St. Basil happened during a great famine. Instead of the emperor helping his people, he decided to place an extra tax on them instead. St. Basil did not think this was fair and went to talk to the emperor. St. Basil was successful in changing the emperor's mind. All of the tax, which was gold, heirlooms, and jewelry of the people, was given to St. Basil to return. He wasn't sure what value belonged to each family. He prayed and prayed, asking for God's guidance. He decided to make a massive loaf of bread and put the valuables in the dough. He then cooked it, handed a piece of the bread to each family. To the family's surprise, each was given back their valuables they had given to the emperor. This is how our tradition of the Basil came about. Here's yet again another example of how St. Basil was not afraid to stand up for his beliefs and his love for those around him. And we know St. Basil used his talents to help others. He was very smart and became a teacher and leader. We all have special gifts too, whether it's being a good friend, helping others learn, or being creative. We should use those gifts to make the world a better place. Even though we are just kids, we can still do this too. We can share what we have, include someone who feels left out, stand up for what we believe is right, or help someone who is having a hard day. If we try to live like St. Basil, even in small ways, we can grow closer to God and help others around us. Thank you, St. Basil, and thank you all for listening.